guys, Tommy Boy here, and welcome back to another Sunday Soapbox. Now, if you're here for the giveaway, details on that will be at the end of the video, though I do hope you stick around for this whole thing because I think I have something interesting to say, and I'm trying this out, so I want to know what you guys think about this kind of video. So anyways, this week we're going to be talking about Ubisoft. You may know them. You know they're that game company that likes to make open worlds that have really foggy maps, and then they get revealed when you find like towers or satellite dishes, and there's a shit ton of things to collect. Yeah, them. This week they've had two kind of really big announcements, and I kind of wanted to talk about them and talk about Ubisoft overall. So let's kind of dive on in. The first came in an interview from GamesIndustry.biz with Blondel-Jouin. I think I got her name right. Anyways, she spoke about DLC and how it should be implemented in further online games for Ubisoft. And here is her quote. "The key is if it's not adding something on top of the actual experience of the game, then it is no good, because you'll be asking for more money for the wrong reasons. Also, if the content is not compulsory for the gamers, it's no good as well. It is a way to deliver more fun to gamers, but they have a choice to go for that extra fun or not." She went on to compare this new DLC plan to kind of like an amusement park, saying when you go to an amusement park, you go in and you pay that flat rate to get into the park, and you expect to be able to experience everything. Now, if you want extra things like food or a souvenir, that's when it's going to cost you. You're not blocked off from rides just because you didn't pay the correct price. The best illustration of this has actually been Rainbow Six Siege. According to IGN, they've seen a 40% increase in player numbers over the first 8 months of their game, which is kind of unheard of in the industry when you think about it. Generally, games tend to kind of die off and not have very long tails after their initial launch. Rainbow Six Siege has defied these trends. Now, one of the main causes of this, or probably one of the main reasons, is the way their DLC actually works. In Rainbow Six Siege, your main releases, that being the new maps and the operators, are free for anyone. You just have to earn them using in-game credits. Their revenue stream from Rainbow Six Siege comes from a season pass that lets you unlock those things early, or by purchasing premium content that just adds on to the experience. It doesn't force the consumer to make that choice, which is an amazing choice for the gamer because you get a full game and you don't feel left out if you don't have the money to keep up with everyone, and it also keeps the community together. We've also seen this strategy kind of start to play out with The Division. Initially, The Division launched, they said they were going to have 2 free updates and then 3 free pieces of DLC, but The Division kind of died out, and Ubisoft adapted their strategy to focus more on the free updates. They've been releasing more and more free updates, and they start to even postpone the paid DLC so that the game is at a strong, healthy point that they can have a stable population with it without then having to fracture it with additional DLCs. And it's something that's been kind of paying off. The Division has seen a bit of a bump in increase in traffic compared to what it has been since launch. This focus on gameplay systems is something we heard about in our next piece of news from Ubisoft this week. Ubisoft's chief creative officer, Sergei Hechaud, said in the French newspaper Le Monde that the company will focus on less scripted narratives in its upcoming games. There will be an overarching narrative, but he wants these games to be anecdote factories. And we've seen this with Ubisoft's games. The first game to actually use this language was the head writer for Far Cry 4 used that wording, anecdote factory. However, I think it's best shown in the current Watch Dogs 2. That game is about using the sandbox and having immersive and emergent experiences. And that's treating that game really well. It's had really high critical praise, and while right now it isn't selling well in its first initial weeks, I think the word is starting to get out, and we're going to see it pick up going into the coming weeks and into the coming months. The true debut of this may be in next year's Assassin's Creed. Sergei went on to say this in that interview about the new Assassin's Creed. "For the next Assassin's Creed, the designers have created a system in which what I do not only has meaning just now, but also long term. Now, this does seem like your player actions are going to end up affecting the world as it continues on, and that's something that Ubisoft really hasn't tried before, and I'm really excited to see it happen." Now, both of these changes are great for gamers, and it shows that Ubisoft is really listening to its consumer and trying to go out and fix any problems you have with their content, and I, for one, have a huge thanks for that. However, this new Ubisoft that we haven't seen previously may be under threat. After poor sales of Assassin's Creed Syndicate, It sold a measly 4.81 million. Compare that to Black Flag 2 years earlier, which sold over 13 million. Another company called Vivendi has started a hostile takeover. Vivendi started investing in Ubisoft, claiming that it was just a kind of long-term investment. They believed in the company and wanted it, but shortly after that, they announced their intentions to attempt a hostile takeover. That was at the beginning of this year, and they amassed 10% of the company. By the time the shareholder meeting came around just about 2 months ago, they had amassed a whopping 23% of control in Ubisoft. Now, luckily, under French law, which of course Ubisoft is a French company, if a company holds more than 30% of a business, they are obligated to make a public offer on the company. They are no longer able to basically buy up shares piece by piece. Now, I, for one, don't want to see this happen. Vivendi, while they may have the best intentions, though they probably don't, Ubisoft has been kicking butt and taking names, and if Vivendi takes over, they will most likely oust the 5 founding members of Ubisoft's board, replacing them with their own members, meaning that this whole new style of management that we're seeing, and that's really positive, is going to go away, and that, unfortunately, sucks for gamers. What I'm trying to say is be mindful of these things. Support Ubisoft when you can. I, for one, think they're doing a great job. They're doing an awesome job. So, that's that. Now, going on to the giveaway I talked about, I have 4 copies of Assassin's Creed Unity that I picked up, and I have codes for them. If you are interested in a code and want to play that game, because I hadn't played the game until I stumbled upon these codes, let me know down in the comments. Leave a comment down below. Any sort of comment would do, though I would love to see and hear your thoughts on this whole Ubisoft situation. Guys, my name's TommyBoy601. If you liked this kind of video, let me know. Hit that subscribe button as well. I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.